in Los Angeles protesting the ICE deportations for the past few days, besides the fact that I got paid $150 to do so per day, I kept seeing signs everywhere that this was being funded by somebody much higher than the person that I had met. For instance, they would give us certain streets or certain targets to go to, and on those streets, there would be pallets of things that could cause destruction to the community. I am not joking. For instance, you turn a corner, boom, there's a pallet of bricks. Oh, that's convenient. Let's destroy the community. And y'all know me, I'm a good guy, but I truly do not care that much about the ICE deportations. I just wanted that $150 a day. But I got to thinking, man, whoever is funding this must really hate this country. So as time goes on while we're protesting and things evolve, they evolve in a lot more violent nature. For instance, instead of there being a pallet of bricks on the target neighborhood or target street that we are protesting on, it'll be a pallet of flammable objects. So it was at that moment when I saw that pallet of Molotov cocktails sitting on the ground, I thought, man, should I really be doing this? Like, this is bad news. This is going to get way worse. Now, I'm not from Los Angeles or live in Los Angeles, so I don't really care about destroying that community, but I'm American after all. Like, this is not good. Moral to the story is there are certain people in our government that wants us to go burn the local police station down, but in actuality, the corruption is at a much higher level.
In February, when I was still on the budget committee, I raised concerns about 73 left-wing organizations that were receiving taxpayer funds, state taxpayer funds, for a COVID-19 project that completely wasteful. One of those groups was the Coalition for Immigrant, what do they call themselves? Humane Rights of Los Angeles, CHIRLA. This is one of the many groups on the ground in LA that has received state taxpayer funding to organize violent protests against law enforcement. And so when Democrats say, well, we don't have the money to fund Prop 36, how about this? How about in this budget that's coming up this week, zero out every single dime for groups like CHIRLA across the state of California? And we're not talking about a little bit of money. We're talking about in the neighborhood of $100 to $150 million. You know, that just happens to be a pretty darn good down payment on fully funding Prop 36. So this week, I always say budgets are not financial documents. I mean, for a lot of us budget geeks, they kind of are. There are a lot of numbers, a lot of zeros. Budgets are reflections of your leaders' values. They are reflections of what the politicians want to prioritize with limited money.
Okay. But here's what's interesting. The mayor, Karen Bass, came down in her public comments on the side of the protesters who were protesting the idea of deportation at all, kind of like Kamala Harris used to march against deportation. And Gavin Newsom then gave a series of editorializations that I think have ruined his chances ever to be a serious national candidate. He said this was chaotic, this was reckless. And he said that they were just trying to have an arbitrary deportation quota. Gavin, 12 million people came into the country illegally. That was 3 million a year. That was 250,000 per month. That was over 8,000 a day. They have not been able to deport more than 1,000 on most days, sometimes 500. They would have to deport 8,000 people every single day for 4 years to get back where we were with 20 million illegal aliens when Joe Biden entered office. So it's not a quota, it's an effort to stop an invasion. And it's a very funny invasion because now Gavin is mad that they nationalized the California Guard. Trump has that ability. And people said, no president, they have to request it. No, they don't. You think that JFK said to George Wallace when he nationalized the Alabama National Guard, said, would you please let us nationalize your guard so you can be removed from stopping African-American people going to the University of Alabama? No.